Hello, hello. I am. Bueno. All right, I'm ready. Okay, so let's go over some of these things. Reporting what I did last night. Tree harvesting thing in the title. Then, yeah, work thoughts. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then maybe. Okay, so while there's no one here in chat, I'm going to report on what I did last night. Let's look at the timeline. 12 hours. From 4 to 4. Okay, so nothing. So 24. Yeah, so talking on Discord. Kind of insane. So I want to look at what they did from 9 p.m. to like 11. That's really nothing. I was looking at Twitter on the phone. Looking at Twitter on the phone, I'm probably showering. Okay, yesterday was Monday, right? Okay, yeah, so made the bed. So after dinner, made the bed, showered, hair. That's why it took longer. I also watched the Yes Theory video, I think, right? Yeah. Yo. Hello. I am first. This is what I'm going to do today. First, report on what I did last night. That's what I'm doing right now. Then talk about some things I thought were working. Then the tree harvesting thing in the title. And then maybe if I have time afterwards, I think so, because I'm not sure how long can I be talking about tree harvesting. But then think again about the things I was saying yesterday of the job. Yeah, so basically DevRel jobs and Sunday. And yeah, right now I was kind of logging the videos that I watched last night. I was on Twitter on the phone, then a little bit on Twitter, then some things to redact, then yeah. I actually think I just watched one video, apparently. I know, this one. Kidology lesbian video. Historia de Firewatch. Aquí no hay quien viva. Mateo Lisana, Egipto. And Yes Theory, Egypt. And I wanted to reflect a little bit on whether these videos are good or not. And good, I think they're good, all of them. In this video, I wrote big comment. So essentially, when I write a big comment on a video, I'm like, that was productive, right? Not sure if like really productive or whatever in the global sense, but for me, it feels like if the video got something out of me, like got a reaction like that to make a long comment, and her channel usually does that. That's why I'm not sure if yesterday I talked about paying for channels, but her channel is like one of the few channels I pay on Patreon for example. And she doesn't even do anything anymore in Patreon, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I support her because yeah, I guess I wrote a lot of comments of long comments on her videos because of how she shares things. I guess I have never written a comment anywhere, so I can't relate. Yeah, I think it's relatively rare to write comments. I forget that it's rare to write comments, especially long ones, but it's also not I don't know. There are some channels like hers where it's Kidology. Let's see what she says on Twitter. She didn't post it. It's this one. I'm not happy with blah 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 lesbian. And yeah, it was interesting. And
okay.
The thing is that here, for example, yeah, you can see that the view count is 60,000 and the comments are like 1,200, right? So that's what? 1,000 into 60,000, 1,200 with 2 extra zeros entre 60,000. That's 2%. So 2% of people write a comment, which is little, right? But I don't know, it depends also on how you count the views. Like, is every 60,000 of those views real views? How many of these views are just clicking and dipping after watching 10% or after doing something like this, right? I don't know. So, for example, the 1,000 comment to view ratio is probably decent. Like, getting 1,200 comments on a 60,000 video on the 60,000 view video is good, probably. Like, if you look at ratios and all of this, for example, this one has a small views, but for example, this car video. 300,000 views, so like 5 times, and not even 1.5 times the comments, right? So yeah, you can see, and that's probably, and this is also a healthy ratio, decent anecdotes, right? So this is a particularly well commented video, you could say. And you could say that these videos are more about, almost not more, but pretty conversation like, right? She's sharing a lot, which invites others to share, while this is just like, you could see how this is more of a watching experience, right? You get something out of watching versus here, right? Everything, everywhere you still have a video open that I wanted to watch. 200k to 800 comments. Yeah, that's probably a decent ratio as well. Like, there are videos with abysmal ratios. Tech, for example, 1.7, and also once you get to these high view counts, you're like 1.7 million, 5,000. What's that? 5, 5 por 6, 30. Yeah. Five, 3, 4, 7 entre 1, 7, 4, 8, 1, 8, 9 times 100. Yeah, this is 0.3%. So it's almost 10 times less comments, right? Once you get to like big channels, like, comment ratios start to tank. And for example, if a video of mine that gets 40 views, one comment entre 40 times 10 times 100. Yeah, if a video of mine gets one comment, it's like 2.5%. So also at my numbers, it's pretty insignificant, you would say. What video is it, by the way? I think you can post the link. I want to see it. But yeah, the comments are also, yeah, as you can see, they are like pretty long comments, and like, you could say sharing a lot, right? Not all of them are like this. When I talk about good comments, I don't mean positive. I mean like long, essentially. Sharing something, you could say. That's my definition of a good comment. Well, not my definition, like mega definition of global definition, but like how I think when I think I would like to get good comments on my videos. That's what I mean, right? It's not that I don't like these comments, right? Welcome to the Lesbian Sisterhood, we welcome you, right? It's not that I dislike them, but it's like I wouldn't count this as feedback, right? I mean, a guy I like to watch Arty Game. Copiar vínculo.
Welcome to the future of gaming. As promised,
I was thinking of this the other day. Not because of Kinect, but because of... I'll probably watch this. I actually think that this was ahead of its time, right? You know, in a way. Let's see if I can find the video.
Welcome to the future of gaming, as promised in 2008. Xbox, Play Connect Sports. Okay, it actually worked. Microsoft had...
Well, let's look it up. This, Webcam Ninja. This game was basically like Kinect before. Right now it doesn't work because it's a Flash game, right? So it requires webcam access. And now it's just emulated, so it doesn't actually have access to the webcam. But see, but this game was basically like Kinect. I liked it. Yes, it had this outline of you, and then you would do something like this, and you would hit the ninjas. It was funny. I played it. Actually, I played it on this PC, on this exact PC. I don't know, just random tangent. Let's save it in watch later just in case.
Welcome to the future.
But yeah, essentially, that I consider this like a well-watched video, right? Not just because of the comment, but usually, like, that's a good sign, right? It doesn't require a comment for me to consider it a well-watched video, a video worth watching. But if I wrote it, I probably consider it that, right? It's like not necessary, but I don't know, I forget these words. Then I watched another one about the history of Firewatch, about the Firewatch game, and I liked this. I also liked the game, and it seems like an interesting game. It was spoilery, so I guess that factor was spoiled the actual games, the story of the game, right? What the game is trying to tell, but it did it in a beautiful way, and it told the story beautifully. It talked about the game in a beautiful way, so I liked the video. Then a video about she's a Spanish architect, and she talks about this classic Spanish sitcom, and she talks about it in an architectonic point of view. So it was interesting. I like her videos a lot, and she is the girlfriend of the guy to whom I applied twice. This rejection I mentioned yesterday. $12. Yeah, this rejection, but it's alright because it was polite. Well, that person, the company is the company that produces also the videos for her girlfriend, right? Because they have the joint production company, so they can share editors and all of these things. And that's the company to which I applied to, and got rejected twice. So yeah, it's always a bittersweet feeling to me watching those videos, but the videos are good. Right? That's why I wanted to apply to them. So yeah, it was a good video, but it reminds me. Then Mateo Lisana Egipto. These are like travel bloggers who travel around. She's from Estonia. He's from Argentina. Cool video. The video I recorded talking about like reasons to travel or something, right? No, the video I talked about like my perspective on New Year's that I mentioned, like this French New Year's thing. I don't know. That video, those are the people in the video. Now they are in Egypt, and it was cool. I like their videos. Right? See, for example, I don't usually comment a lot. I don't write long comments on these videos, but they are good videos. Yes, Theory Egypt. This is. They are also a travel channel, and yeah, the guy. This one was like fulfilling a dream, right? He was some kind of. He's a guy from Egypt that somehow was banned from being in Egypt, but that he's allowed back in, and like fulfilled his dream of like parachuting in front of the pyramids, like over the pyramids, and watching the view. And it was a pretty fucking crazy video actually, and it was cool. Then PUBG videos. I watched 3 videos of PUBG, or like two or 3 videos. And I always like watching PUBG videos, I don't know. But the thing is that time flies while watching them, because they are like relatively long matches, so yeah. Hello to the second person, by the way. You want to apply to tree harvesting job. Hello, Chris. And I was no. Okay, let me clarify. Yeah, actually, let's fuck it. Let's talk about the work thoughts later, and let's talk about tree harvesting thing in the title now. So, I have been watching. Yeah, basically, I don't know. I found this tweet this morning. Not this one. Fuck. Control H, Twitter. This tweet. Well, not this one exactly, but a tweet about this tree harvesting thing. I have to wait a bit for the video to shrink. I'm not sure what my computer does this. What the fuck? Okay, so we get the tree, and I was like, damn, isn't this fucking cool, right? You see this head. The head has the head has below some kind of fucking chainsaw. See? Then it has like the thing to hack at the tree. It has like the little things in the bottom. Like this shit is so fucking complex, right? It's cool. So it has a lot of things that are cool, right? And then what the video mentioned. That, okay, the tweet was like, this is the tweet I saw. let's see. Notifications. This guy. The fluidity and speed of motion. My brain was doubting my eyes at first. Yeah, it is pretty fluid, right? It's like who is the the person like moving the arm like that? Is he controlling everything from this angle to like this type of movement, right? What's exactly the harvester doing? What is he controlling? And I wondered, right? So I was like, could I do this? What kind of like formation do you need? What kind of training do you need for this? It's like, who is this guy? Is this a thing where you are rich, you have a forest, and you yourself do this? I assume not, right? If you are rich, you just hire someone to do these things. Or maybe not. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening, right? So I was like, would someone hire me to do this? And the thing is, also, then I wanted to talk more about this, not just the job, right? Because I thought of this and I was like, fuck, that's cool, right? I was like watching all of these things, right? For example, this is one of those machines, John Deere, a new one, probably like €500,000 or something like this, right? $500,000, I don't know. They don't say, but it's probably something like this, or more, maybe more, I don't know. But I would say around that, like 250 to 750, I would say, something in that range. And it's like, who the fuck has this kind of money, right? And it's like people who will sell the trees, right? If you have trees and you sell them, you can pay for this. Or if you are a government and like you need this to do land things, right? To do things to the land. Just, even if you don't sell the trees and you don't make a profit on the operation, you just do it, right? I am applying with you. Yeah, it sounds cool, right? But yeah, the thing with these kind of jobs is that they are always like, I don't know, because this like the people who make the machine, right? They paint it as if it's like super easy, right? Well, not easy, but as like this machine is like super intelligent. It has like these fucking crazy maps that tell you how to do this based on sensors. It's like the machine head is so smart, and it can control how much you need to feed it, how much you need to cut, right? See, it literally says the word easy here, right? So I'm like, bro, if this is so easy, right? Could I do it? But then you probably look at the actual requirements for the job, and I was looking at this, right? I was like, info jobs. I looked at forestal. This means kind of tree or something. I'm not sure what it means. And I looked at it, and there are some jobs, like, and the thing is that every job is so fucking obscure, right? No one says you cut trees with a machine. Every job says something like supervision and control of construction site. Coordination of whatever, right? So I assume this isn't the guy who is like operating the machine, but who the fuck is the guy operating the machine then? Like, what do I have to look for to see guy who operates tree cutting machine? What do I have to do? I know in Alaska they pay you $7,000 a month to cut trees out there, but this is new to me. I mean, if it's in summer, I would do it. Right? I mean, see, that's the thing that I want to know. Do they pay you $7,000 per month? For how long, right? It's like Do they pay you 7K per month only 3 months? Bro, that sounds like the deal of the century to me, right? It's like, do you need a visa? What kind of visa do you need? But I would like to do it with the machine, right? The thing that I like is the fucking machine. If they pay 7K per month to do it, I assume it's because, right? This is the thing, right? Because of economics, it doesn't make sense, probably, right? Like, it doesn't make sense to hire someone in the short term for a lot of money to cut trees with a machine, right? It only makes sense to do it to cut trees with like hand saws or like, well, not hand saws, but like machine saws and all these things. Because the machine is such a big investment, right? So it's like once you have the machine going, it's like you have such a big operation that it requires probably employees, like actual employees, right? Meanwhile, the 7K per month thing is probably because what are you paying? If you pay 7K per month, like 3 people or 2 people, you pay 2 people 7K per month, 3 months. It's like in 3 months, you have spent, I don't know, 40,000, and you clear a forest. Imagine that you can clear a forest in 3 months, or like a small forest. It's like you spent all this in landscaping, but you don't need to like buy the machine, right? Or I don't know. Or you don't need to contract a foresting machine that has the machine, but that maybe charges 60K per month to do landscaping for a whole fucking forest, right? So it's like you saved a lot. That's like where the economics kind of. That's why I assume that that it is hard to find a job like this. I imagine, right? I don't have any fucking idea. But this is what I wanted to talk about, right? How hard is it to get a job like that? How hard is it to get a tree harvesting job? And then I was also thinking, like, what would I personally have to sacrifice, right? Because, like, I'm not fucking moving to rural areas for my whole life just to work once at this fucking job, right? It's like, no. I would get an Airbnb or something, or like share a room or whatever the fuck for like half a year to do this thing. Yeah, that, fuck it, sign me up, right? But move forever to Alaska just to cut trees, no. Right? That is the thing. I wanted to know, like, what's the landscape like? What's kind of this paradigm like? What are we talking about here? Who the fuck drives these machines? Do you have to, like, because maybe it's only like people who have forests or something like this, right? Maybe it's something like that, right? And for example, the thing that I wanted to do with this, right? My idea is to try. Well, is not. Would be like this is an idea I have, right? It's to try these things only if they let me make a video, right? But making a video of tree harvesting jobs seems doable, right? It's not like making a video of working cybersecurity in a banking company, right? They are not going to let you make a video of your day of the day in your job. The cybersecurity people in the bank, because there's probably like confidential information, a lot of processes, all of these things, right? It's like even if the things that you do day to day are not relevant, they are probably like just in case they don't allow you. But like fucking cutting trees, they probably don't give a shit, right? And I was looking at like the because I'm a mechanical engineer, right? So if I, as an engineer, applied, the problem is that if I apply as an engineer to these companies, right, you start at the very bottom and it takes a long time to develop or whatever, right? And that's not what I was about. Yeah, fuck it. I was avoiding that. I didn't want to go through the whole process. Not because I don't think the process is real or whatever. No, it's like I believe you. If you tell me, yeah, to develop these machines, to develop one of these, you actually take 10 years. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Right? I don't have like any doubt about that. And I don't, maybe I could be like, I could think like Elon Musk and be like, what if we start with first principles and develop one of these machines faster, right? I don't know. It's probably possible in a sense, like in the sense of the possibilities, right? But it probably doesn't. Like, it's not what I'm going to do, right? I don't have like that kind of drive, at least right now, right? But I also don't want to get into the engineering jobs because of that, right? That's like the reason that's stopping me, because it's like I feel like I don't care enough about engineering to start from the very bottom and like slowly climb my way up to the top, right? I care in that, like, what do I care enough about that? In that sense, in the video sense, right? I care enough about videos to do that. So I want everything that I do to be good video stuff. And that's the thing, right? I think that the best videos that you can make right now probably are not this exact thing, but probably related to this, right? It's like if I look up something like fuck it, I didn't do this, but of day in the life tree harvester. Fuck it, there's one. I think these are the videos that have the most alpha, right? This one, oh fuck. See, this one has said 71,000 views. Fuck, I haven't thought of watching these videos actually, but fuck it. I think that this is the type of video that has the most alpha. Alpha means kind of this, I don't know, most potential. And if I do it in Spanish, right, the thing that I would do is Spanish, and I don't know the profession. Un día en mi vida. Let's just look up Forrestal. Something like this, right? See, 24 hours being a fireman. This fucking thumbnail is fire, right? This guy is famous, right? Shutercock is famous, kind of. But this kind of shit is cool as fuck. And I want to be the guy who makes the videos, right? And I wonder, like, what the curve or like the, I don't know, yeah, this kind of thing, the difficultness curve is. Because, for example, if you want to make the day being a fireman on the inside, it's hard as hell because you have to spend like 4 years studying to be and like doing physical work or whatever to get inside, right? So it makes sense that the only people who do 24 hours are people from the outside, right? But I want to see like what's the intersection between the thing that you can do relatively quickly and the things that you can record, right? This kind of intersection. And I want to do that. And like, yeah, this is kind of inspired by her, by Michelle Carey, right? She does these these challenges, right? Try the Santa School, traveling circus, delivering a baby, garbage collection, Olympic boxer, right? All of these things. And it's like, I want to do something similar to this, right? I trained like a chess grandmaster. Sorry, you can see most. See, I trained like a chess grandmaster. But like in a more humble way, because she's ex BuzzFeed, right? So she kind of had this connection to, you could say not mainstream media, but to decent production companies, right? And my take on this, right, is that the whole point of YouTube is that you can do this just with like 4 things, like a GoPro, a drone, and the iPhone, right? That's the actual. That's where the alpha rests, right? That you can do that. And also that, this sense that there is wisdom in every corner, right? I wonder what the wisdom, the wisdom that you can learn from cutting through. And also, what could I teach those people, right? Could I teach them anything? Maybe I could, right? Maybe I know things that they don't know. Maybe these people cutting trees like don't think about other things, right? For example, about the video things. Maybe they don't give a shit about doing videos, right? But maybe that helps them out in a way, right? That's what I think of. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, let's put 47, 30 or something, and copy the link. I'm putting it in my notes because I don't know. I want to revisit what I just said in some time. So I want to have it at least categorized in my notes. And I want to reach a good balance, right? That's the thing. I want to reach a good balance because, for example, someone who I've seen, because she, for example, her, I think she probably has reached a good balance. Sounds good, but good luck finding someone to teach you how to work with that machine without getting anything for it. It's not like you will keep working there later. Yeah, that is the thing, right? That's, I guess, the main obstacle. Like, for how long would I have to stay for it to be worth it, right? Because I assume that maybe it's not like that, right? Maybe it's just like maybe it's a week, right? Maybe they teach you for a week and you're ready to start cutting trees, right? And you cut trees, they pay you a very low salary because everything in Spain pays a low salary, and and that's it, right? So it's like maybe their return on investment is like for 3 months. You spend 3 months doing that, and it's like they don't hold a grudge to you, right? And I think that the thing that it would be better, it would be good to communicate too, right? It's that maybe the video thing, right? Maybe showing it on video. Like, that's my point, right? That showing it on video is very powerful. It's not like you will keep working later, right? To pad that feeling, right? Because if you pad it's not like you will keep working there, blah, blah, blah. It's like if I make a video that people watch and that, well, it doesn't even have to be watched by a lot of people, right? Just with the right people watching it, it's enough. Because that's the thing with such a niche thing, right? If you are making a video about forest, doing this forest thing, right? The people who watch the fucking video in the first place, right? If they watched it wholly, like the complete video, like they're interested enough in this kind of thing, right? There is like enough of a spark that maybe there is not in the regular hiring pipeline, right? So it's like you are already bettering hiring pipelines because of this, right? Well, that is true. They will not really react to someone like with like 20 views per video. No offense. Yeah, I know. But it's like people hire people for social media, right? And it's like they start with 0 views, right? If you hire someone to run your TikTok and you have not made a TikTok in your life, like the first TikTok you make, it starts with zero views, right? And usually people don't hire someone randomly, right? They just hire the young person who knows about technology, right? So it's like, and that person like doesn't really even want it, right? And maybe they are not even hired in that sense, right? Maybe they're just like doing it, right? So it's like if you can get the value, like the double value, right? If you don't value the TikTok thing or whatever, like that's the problem, right? That people don't value it. And I'm talking about places like a restaurant, right? If you have a restaurant, usually you have like people are starting to do that, right? And I'm not sure if it's starting or like if that's kind of an established thing, but like it makes sense if you're a small company, right? If you are a small restaurant, mom and pop business and all this, that like literally it's just recording what you do in a day or whatever, what you do in the kitchen and posting it like without a lot of thought behind it and all of these things, right? But if you're a company that has a fucking machine like this, right? But it's not on social media because you don't think of it, right? Because they didn't think of it, right? It's like their business is already established in this way where it doesn't make sense for that to happen, right? I don't know. Yeah, I guess I need to explain it better or something. I don't know, in my head it makes sense, right? And I'm also not a convincing person, right? I'm not in the business of convincing, I think, right? I don't think I'm very good convincing people, right? The thing that I want is to find the people who are already aligned, but who lack, yeah. It's like, imagine that you are some old guy or something like that, who has this tree harvesting company. And you're like, and I don't know, you have 3 nieces, and the niece watches TikTok, and you see the niece watching TikTok, and you ask her, what's this TikTok thing about, right? And she's doing the dances or whatever, right? But then she shows you one day, look at what I found, right? And she shows you, isn't this what you do, grandpa? And what, uncle? Isn't this what you do, uncle? And it's a video of literally harvesting trees, right? And he looks at the video and is like, what the fuck? It has 7 million views or something like this, right? Well, 700,000 likes. And she's like, what the fuck? He's like, what the fuck? People watch this? But that's not like, but he doesn't actually think about that a lot, right? But he has the seed in his mind, right? And then I come up, apply to the job, right? And talk about this with him, right? That's the person that I'm looking for, right? Like, do you get the vibe, right? I'm not trying to convince the guy who hates TikTok with all his guts that he needs to hire me to do the thing, right? No. Or I'm not trying to convince the person who is maybe like, who has the, I don't think I will keep, it doesn't make sense to me for me to hire you because you won't keep working here later, right? I want the guy with the vision to be like, okay, you won't be here later, but I can make the trade-off because this video, like, it will stay made, right? The video that I make will stay made. Yeah, sure, but still good luck. Sounds hard to find. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, my thing is that I don't know if it's hard to find or not. My guess is that it is hard, but I'm not sure about it. Right? It's like it's not 2000, right? It's not the year 2000, or it's not 2007, and I'm trying to convince the guy to upload the right. It's not. It's like 2024. Right? It's been 14 years of YouTube being like this huge thing. Right? It's like people can believe it, I guess. And maybe the thing is that they can believe it. They may think it can apply to their business or whatever, but like they are not thinking about that every day because they are busy with other things, right? So if someone new comes in and is like, actually this could work, right? I don't know. This is my gut sense, right? My gut sense is that it's not that hard. It wouldn't be that hard actually, with an asterisk, right? It would it would be less hard than some people think, but yeah, but definitely like not easy because nothing is easy, right? In the assuming, like not assuming, but the acknowledging that nothing is actually easy, right? Like the actual execution would be the hard thing, right? The making an actual video that is liked, or the getting the actual video to be viral, that is hard, and like that wouldn't be the intention, and that would be like explaining all the tricky things would have to be understood, right? I don't know. And yeah, it is. You could say that it is riskier, right? Or being honest would be a risky strategy. Right? Or a strategy that is faced with rejection. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. That it's a strategy faced with a lot of rejection. Because like if literally everything is faced with rejection, like everything will face me with rejection, right? Like literally applying to jobs or sitting on my chair doing things on my chair which I have been doing all of the time versus something new. Yeah, there is like a higher chance of rejection with a new thing, I guess. Yeah, I get that. I do get that. And it is hard to find in that sense, I would say. But I don't know. Conversely, I also feel like because it's the non-obvious thing, right? Because it's not obvious. Yeah, I think that because it has this, I think it has like a couple of countercultural elements to it, right? Right now, everything is about, including me, right? Everything is about like not doing anything from your house, right? Doing everything from your house or remote traveling, right? And you can see that people are like, yeah, work from home 3 days per week instead of 2 days per week, right? You can see the push to that, right? And the counter push to that. So someone being like, no, I actually want to do this thing, right? Physically there, right? I want to learn the ropes, blah, 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 and be there, right? I don't know. I think like there is enough of a of a push like that, of a counter push like that, it can be interesting, right? I don't know. And also, yeah, I don't know. I am assuming that this, like, for example, moving boxes onto like loading boxes into trucks. That thing is like super easy, right? It's like it doesn't have any training to necessary, right? Starting with these things, with these kind of things, would probably make sense, right? Yeah, it would probably make more sense to do it on things that are already temporal, right? Where the expectation is already that you will dip soon, right? And then ask, in addition, could I do this, right? Could I record? That could make sense. But since because the conditions of those jobs are usually shit, I wouldn't expect a yes, right? That's the thing. Like I would expect a no because it doesn't, like the actual proposition can do harm, right? I would expect a no with a reasonable no. I could see why someone who hires people on the cheap, barely giving social protections and all of these things, would say, no, actually, I don't want you to share this, right? Versus someone who is actually doing something interesting, like cutting trees in a cool manner, right? I tried delivering a baby. I'm perturbed that as I got pregnant for content. Lol. Yeah, she's the nurse who delivers the baby, right? But yeah, the title is funny. I also perceived that he like when I was scrolling fast, I also thought, what the fuck, she got pregnant. Also because I knew that she got married, right? I knew that she had gotten married pretty soon before. Yeah, the planning in the week and the wedding thing. Okay, so end. I'm going to end this section and I'm going to do the walk thoughts thing. Because while walking today, I was thinking of things. And actually, it's kind of convenient because yeah, I can tie it somewhat. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. When I started walking, I thought of these. Let's see. Of this Red Dead Redemption style digital nomad building, right? I was thinking, are there, because most digital nomads are like alone, right? They are alone or with their wives or something like this, right? So yeah, so you lack this sense of community, I would say, right? And yeah, that's something people complain about and all this, right? You miss your friends, all of these things. And I was like, are there any groups of friends or whatever traveling all together, right? In this digital nomad fashion, right? It's like hiring a whole building, for example, or renting a whole building, then dipping, and once you're already established, and I was thinking, okay, what should happen for this, right? Because it would probably be a fucking mess, right? Like needing to, yeah, because I was thinking of this. I'm not sure why, but something like I was thinking about kind of my situation and how in general it makes sense to split tasks, right? So when you are living in a house, like sharing roommates or whatever, right? Yeah, because it's kind of the difference between having roommates or whatever and like being a family, right? If you are a family, it's like it makes sense usually to do your laundry together, right? And cook together for everyone, right? These things, right? And when you are just roommates with people, usually it's like the laundry that gets done separate, right? So it's like the way buildings do it. For example, when I lived in Germany, we didn't have a washing machine in our house. The building, and it wasn't even the building, right? It was like the group of 3 buildings or so had laundry machines. So I had to. I actually, that was kind of annoying because I actually had to walk outside of my building to add to the building of the neighbors and get into there and then have the washing machine and go to the washing machine place and all that. Which, because it was Germany, it rained often, right? Well, not that often actually, because it was the summer season. It was spring, summer. So it didn't actually rain that much. But I could see it being a pain in the ass in the winter, for example, right? In the winter, you have to go like with the rain, carrying the wet clothes, and then you dry them in the dryer. But then it's still raining, so you have to take them to the house quick. I don't know. It was kind of annoying in that sense. And I was thinking about this, but applied to this digital nomad thing. And because I've played Red Dead Redemption, the way Red Dead Redemption 2 works, this game, you are kind of together with a lot of people, right? And you kind of set up base in a place. So you are, in a way, this kind of nomadic type thing, right? You are this nomadic type enterprise. And because of the family thing, right, I was thinking of, the good thing about being a family and all this, right, is that there is no, because, for example, I am being sustained at the moment by my family, right? So it's like they have an expectation that I will get a job soon or whatever. But, yeah, there is no actual need for it in the short term, right? There is no, that's why I am able to do these fucking stupid things all the time, because they haven't legibilized enough when I have to do it, right? So I am able to aim for the stars, and instead of having this actual need to do something, right? And I was thinking about how that may change. But then for some reason I got how would this work in kind of this nomad place, right? Because the problem with the digital nomad or that is that you lack that, right? It's like if you are a digital nomad, basically you legally live with your parents, right? That's kind of either you legally live with your parents or you stay in each country you are enough to, or you legally move to the country that has the least taxes plus cheapest rent, so you get a super small place there that you pay, and then you are moving around. There are different tactics, but they are all like this, right? They all require this staying in some place fiscally or something, some kind of thing like this. And in Red Dead Redemption, the thing is that they do it as a community. They are several people like that, right? They are outlaws. But they do have that sense that I talked about in the family thing of everyone needing to contribute in some way, right? It's Red Dead Redemption, right? So the women don't always do things and mostly take care of the things, right? But sometimes the women also are kind of these tough women who do crimes, basically, because the game is about crimes. This is the safety net but collaboration-based thing that I put here. And I was thinking about that, right? Are there any communities like that? And how hard would it be? I was thinking of a friend of mine, because a friend of mine is kind of not accountant, but you could say something adjacent to that, right? And I was like, probably the figure of the accountant would be a pretty core figure to that, right? To the whole community, because it's if you are assuming that the resources get pulled together in some shape or form, right? The person who does the accounting of this has to probably work pretty hard, right? Because it's a digital nomad thing, right? It's many income sources are coming from many different places in the world, all of these things. In the modern scenario, right? That's what I was thinking of. And I was I wonder how it would go about, right? It's because you could, in a sense, take advantage of being the community thing, right? You could set up a corporation or something to be the thing that handles the income coming in. So, for example, if I am a person living in this place, I could be okay, yes, you come to my boss or to my clients. I could be yeah, please make the invoice to this corporation, right? To the common corporation. Yeah, so you get like pre-tax money to do things, right? But yeah, I was also wondering like how, because each person would still need to have like a fiscal residence somewhere, right? So how would that work? I don't know. It was just a thought, and yeah, this was literally in the first 5 minutes walking, even less, like the first 3 minutes walking, because then I saw, yeah, the Land Cruiser, a short, purple. It's purple. Purple. Let's look up if I can see something like this. I liked it because it was purple, right? It was a Land Cruiser, and it was purple. This generation, but purple, purplish kind of. Yeah, kind of like this color. Maybe it's red. Why? She has a Toyota Sequoia, by the way. Also a Toyota, but Corto Granate, maybe. Yes, kind of like this color, maybe. But it's the short one. I should have taken a picture. I don't know whether I didn't take a picture. But I liked. Yes, it's the short one, kind of this color, but newer. And I don't know. I thought it was interesting because I've seen the woman who drives the car, and I don't know. It's interesting, right? To me, it's interesting, right? It's like an interesting mix of things. It's a newish car because it's 2010 something. Yeah, matrícula HGH 2010 probably. It's a 2010 car, so I guess not super new, but I don't know, newish. And she looked old, kind of, right? So, well, not old, but she looked, I guess, 40s, 50s, right? And she looked kind of posh, right? You could see, and the car is kind of posh as well, right? It's a posh, but in a country way car. And I wondered, right? I started wondering about the backstory of the car. I started wondering was like about her and all of this, right? It's like, why is she here, right? Because what is, because she parked. There is this place that I don't know exactly what it does, but it's kind of rural. Could I? Well, I'm going to look at the maps. Let's do this. I mean, I don't want to dox myself too hard, so I'm taking measures. It's not like I could see. I know. It's just preventive for the future, right? I don't think you are going to dox me or whatever, but just for the future, in case. I'm leaving a lot of shit up, but just in case. Yeah. this place, right? It's this place, in front of this place. So yeah, let's say the car is parked here, right? Red. Here, here it's the car is parked. The car is parked here. Right? So I'm like, like what is she doing here, right? What are they selling? Make sure it shows nothing. I would be very careful with stuff like that. I mean, yeah, just by showing this picture, it's probably like, I don't know. Like with this picture, you can show, like you can probably guess. With this picture and looking through my profile 5 minutes, you can know. It's not like being overly careful is not pointless, but like it's too late to be overly careful. I would say. But yeah, basically, yeah, I don't know. That it was interesting, right? I wonder what she would be doing here, right? What do they sell? What is this company? What do they do? Because I also see that they have a kind of machinery, right? You can see here that they have an excavator, they have this old truck, they have an old van there. Sometimes they have newer equipment. And I'm like, what do they do? They have this kind of relatively big building. And you can see that in this side, around here, right, a bit deeper, they are, that it's not hollow. Yeah, it's kind of hollow. You can see, right, it's not walled. You can see that they have, like, I don't know, places to put, I don't know, like this. So I don't know, my theory is that it's some kind of horse place for some reason, right? And that she is into horses. That's my theory in my head. But I would like to know what's going on, right? I don't know. I think of these things while walking. Then, yeah, this is related to this last thing, to the preparing for Sunday thing. Something I thought of while walking was that maybe something I could say about me that is, I don't know, a quality that I have is that I know at least some of these programs, some of these scripts to make recording video, to make downloading video easier for the job of video editing and all this, right? So this could be a talking point in Sunday that I could make. Right? I could be like, yeah, I have these skills, right? And I was thinking in my head as to what angle could I play. Would I be like, yeah, I don't know, if I would be like bad or like good. Sorry, not bad or good. Yeah, if I would be like, if I could play it. Yeah, because in my head, it's useful information to know, right? But I don't know to what sense it's expected or not. I don't know who is hiring for video people expects it as knowledge or if it doesn't, right? So in my, like, the safest bet is to just say it anyways in case it turns out to be a positive, right? And if it's expected, it's like redundant, but oh well, right? At least, yeah, something like this, right? I don't know. That was what I was thinking about. And also, like, if I want to, I also want to put respect, right? To say, yeah, I know that maybe there are people in your team already because her team probably has people who know a lot about these kind of things, right? So I want to have like this assumption of respect and of acknowledging that it is probably not something super weird or super strange in the context, right? That in the context is probably is probably pretty known and all this, but I don't know. I wanted to be like, yeah, this is actually something I know how to use, right? Something I thought of. Yeah, then while walking back, I was thinking about wind direction. I was wondering about the weather app and the wind direction that it shows. Like, how useful is that information? How useful is that information? The wind direction and speed. It's like, who was the first, I guess, person, or not person, but yeah, how was the wind speed thing developed? Like, who first cared about wind speed in a way that is used for something, right? Probably boating people, right? Using it for traveling, for directional purposes. Right? I could see that. And how developed did they get? Like, how useful was it for them? Like, if you are a person, my question was more general. I hadn't thought of the boating thing yet. But yeah, I was thinking, how, like, for example, you see these things, right? I'm not sure how this is called in English or in German. Vane. Weather vane. Weathercock. Yeah, I'm not sure how vanes work or like how weathercocks work. What is this useful for anyone? But who the fuck is supposed to get what information from this? Like, what sense does this make on top of a random house in your neighborhood? It's like, why do you care when you are living in a city that the wind is blowing from the north? Like, I don't know what happened. Like, what decisions do you make based on this? What's so funny? It's the perfect name. But yeah, I don't know. No, I guess. Yeah, that was my question. And I know that it has have to be useful in some context somewhere. Not this, but knowing wind direction, right? Because, for example, anemometers, I know anemometer are these things in. Yeah. I know that these things are useful to measure weather. I don't know. I know that if you want to measure weather speed right now, you use this, right? But I'm not exactly sure, and I know that people measure the weather, and that it is useful to meteorologists and all that shit in some sense. But I'm not sure how, and I'm not sure. I need it useful to know the weather, that the wind and all this when you go outside, right? If you want to go outside and you're like, is it cold or is it hot, right? You like to know, like, for the same reason you just check the weather in general, right? You want to know the wind speed. Probably from an earlier time when people still needed to hunt and stuff, and it just stuck. Don't know though. Yeah, the hunting thing makes sense. Hunting is also another application where I could see it being useful, right? But I don't know, my guess is that in hunting, like when you are hunting, like you are probably relying like much more on your just bird senses, right? On your bird senses, you do this to like sense where the wind is coming from and where you have to position yourself. Right? I would sense something like that. I would imagine that it goes more like that. So I'm not sure if the veleta thing, like if the vane or weathercock, is useful for that. But yeah, I was thinking because I was thinking in the context of in the context of the weather app on your phone, right? If I check my phone and I look at the weather and I check the wind aspect, the main thing that I care about is speed, right? I care about wind speed because I know that if it's, I was thinking about it. Right? I was like today I was walking and it was breezy but tolerable. I could have my rain umbrella out, right? And I was like, chill. This is pretty chill, right? I can deal with it. And I looked at the wind speed and it was like 3 kilometers per hour or 5 kilometers per hour. And in my head I was like, okay, so I have this reference now for the future, right? So now if I look at the weather speed and it's like 10, I'm like, ooh, it's twice as heavy as last week's. Probably not convenient to take the umbrella out, right? And if I look at the trees and they are moving like this, I'm like, okay, I know it's going to be windy as fuck, right? So it's like I have trees outside. I can see and I don't need the wind speed meter. But I don't know. It's still helpful to know, I guess, right? To know because sometimes maybe they are moving like this and you're like, okay, is this super strong or not? Maybe they are moving like this, right? And you don't exactly know. So it's good to have the number. I get the number. But the direction is still what I don't get, right? Is direction a thing that is important? Now thinking, I think that maybe it is because, for example, winds from the north here are considered colder, right? I don't know. Now I have that kind of sensation that winds from the north are considered colder. So maybe if you look at the stats and you're like north, maybe that tells you that it is going to be colder air. I don't know. And that builds up onto the thermal sensation aspect. But yeah, the thing I was talking about is like what kind of wind detection do people in aerospace industry use, right? If you are an ATC, if you're an ATC and you look at these charts, like what do they tell you, right? And it's like, will I get anything out of my day-to-day life if I look at these charts? I don't know, because my sense is also that wind speed matters, but if the wind is changing from front to back a lot, right? If direction changes in wind speed seem to be like the thing that bothers me the most when I'm carrying an umbrella, right? And it's like, is that information out somewhere? I don't know. People from I just don't look at the wind at all. I just check if it rains, if I check at all. Well, in the end, you look at the wind to see where the rain will travel and stuff, no? Yeah, I guess that could make sense, right? If the wind comes from the north. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but for example, if I get out my house and I don't care whether the wind is like 7 kilometers per hour, north or south, right? Like I will just do with my umbrella like this or like this, depending on where it's falling from, right? Like I would like, for example, instead of you telling, not you, but instead of the weather app telling, because the weather app says like it says N 7 kilometers per hour, right? I would like to see if like to see some kind of indicator or like a graph or something of how annoying am I going to be when I take my umbrella out, right? That's kind of my issue. How annoying is it going to be when I do this? I don't know. That's what I was thinking about. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to know if aerospace engineering people have this information in their devices, right? If they have extra capacity of predicting what's going around the world around them in the air sense, based on the things they know. Well, in the end, you look at it. Okay, yeah, I don't know. That's what I was thinking about while walking. Yeah, that's why it's called walk thoughts. And then, yeah, after that, I was thinking about my understanding of the world and engineering. Right? I was like, I'm not sure how extra well do I understand the world before I had my engineering degree and after I had it. Right? I understand engineering itself better. Right? I know more how engineering works. That's why I decided that I don't want to do it, right? Because I know how it goes. In a way, right? Not in the whole way, but I got enough of a taste to know that maybe this is not for me, right? But I'm not exactly sure if it's improved my understanding of the world. Even in things I care about, like, for example, combustion engines and all of these things, right? I don't feel like I'm that connected to combustion engines, even if I know some of the engineering behind that, right? Or about buildings and how and how shit that gets built gets the forces transmitted and all of these things. I, for example, don't feel, or for example, springs. I don't know, like springs are a big topic in mechanical engineering and all of this, right? But I don't feel like I know a lot about it, right? I know some models and all of this on how to model the constant of the springs and the spring rate and all these things, right? I know some of these things, but I don't know. Well, with the umbrella, it depends where you walk, since it will be annoying if you have wind in the front, but less so if it's in the back, and the app won't know where you will go. Yeah, but if it says, for example, frequency of air switch, right? I don't need to know north south. I need to know when is it changing, like how often is it changing, right? Because I get the sense that wind changes, right? But sometimes the wind changes slowly, right? So you can adjust your umbrella like this, right? It's something you do, just do it, right? But sometimes the wind changes so fast that it's like that your umbrella gets pulled like this, right? And it gets umbrella pulled out reverse. Let's see if something like this, right? That something like this happens to the umbrella. These ones are strange umbrellas that are like built like this, but you know what this thing, right? And that thing is what bothered me. And I like, my theory is that it's tied to not wind speed per se, right? Because if the wind speed is constant but high, it doesn't matter, right? Like if it's 18 kilometers per hour, super strong, relatively strong wind, but it's always coming from one direction, you don't, like, you can just do this and kind of hold it strongly, but it won't trick you, right? It won't be like, but when it's strong plus it tricks you, that's dangerous, right? Yeah, that's what I mean, right? I don't mean like one direction. Yeah, it's annoying if you have to be like this in the front, but well, it doesn't change in the air, but rather close to the ground, since trees and buildings affect it, or it depends on where you live, I think. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, that makes sense. That it changes depending on the environment, and that the wind can. I don't know. I feel like there's something atmospheric about it as well, right? But maybe it's true that it changes depending on trees and buildings. That could be it. That could be a thing. yeah, that's what I was going to say today. I covered a little bit of this preparing to Sunday. DevRel jobs, I don't want to say anything about it. And yeah, thank you for being here, for remaining until the end. And goodbye. See you tomorrow, if you are tomorrow. And yeah. Bye.